All right. I hope everyone is doing well. We are back. We are
Yes,
back.
we are.
All right. Hey, Dom, I have a really cool idea. So I'm thinking about changing the name of my toilet from John to Jim. Do you know why?
No.
So when I tell people that I hang out in the gym or that I go use the gym every morning, they're going to be impressed.
That was terrible. But welcome to Dom and the Coach.
All right. So we have a couple new, well, we have a new segment we'd like to introduce today. It's called What Have You Been Up To? Because it has been 5.5 weeks
Yeah.
since we put out an episode, and people have been asking us, guys, what have you been up to? So, what have we been up to in 5 weeks? Well, we went on a little hiatus. We took a little break because Dom started college. College is Southern
I
Maryland,
did,
right?
yeah.
Why don't you tell everybody what that was like, or what that is like?
That was really cool. I was very nervous at first because it was a whole new thing for me. It's like, going to high school all over again, kind of. But the campus is ginormous, and I actually have to walk from one building to another.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most of my classes are in the same building, so I didn't have to walk too much walking. But like my first day, I went to my math class, math, English,
Nobody needs to know
and
all
then I had
this.
a break for like an hour and a half,
Oh yeah, okay.
and then I did a class called First Year Seminar,
First year seminar.
which is very boring.
Oh, okay, but everybody has to do it as a freshman.
Yeah, it's basically what is college, what to expect from college.
You mean like do your work, listen to the
No,
professor, show up to class,
it's more than that. We actually had assignments to do with
assignments,
colleges. It
and
was
then you met
oh,
new people, right? It wasn't all the
yeah.
people from like your high school, right?
I think only knew one person, and that was one of my friends who actually came up to me on my first day,
That's funny.
and we reconnected. So,
That's pretty cool. Now I know a handful of my students that go to my school,
oh yeah,
like
yeah,
reached out to
that's
you,
true.
saw you, and found you and such. So that was actually pretty cool too.
Hmm.
So, all right. And then the next thing that happened, we were going to film again, and then the very next week, we took a break because it was my daughter, Dom's sister Kay, her and little Nate got married. And so Dom, for that for that weekend, he became uh a Bill. What's a Bill?
No, no, no. I was Bob,
Bob.
brother of the bride.
But you also became a Bill,
Yeah, brother-in-law.
a brother-in-law. That's right. You were Bob for the week, brother of the bride. What a goofball. So what's that like having a Bill, having a brother-in-law?
I love it. It's like having a whole new. I mean, little Nathan and I relationship was already great, but I can now add the title of brother to him, and I can now tell everyone that I have a brother. I mean, I've been dreaming of having a brother since I was little. And I think I told Kay one time that if I had a brother, I would leave you alone.
Yeah, right. If you had a
And
brother.
now I have a brother and I don't leave her alone.
Interesting.
But that brother is her husband, so.
Yep, little Nate. So little Nate's a part of the family, and we really appreciate little Nate.
Mm-hmm.
And their wedding was beautiful.
Yes.
We had I don't know, like 100 some odd of our.
200 people.
I don't think it was 200 people.
It was like 190.
All right,
It
100
was
and
good.
mix. Anyway, we had a blast. It was a wonderful time. Kay looked beautiful.
Mm.
I walked her down a very long aisle. It was outside
Lots of
wedding.
tears.
Lots of
Eye
tears,
sweating.
eye sweating.
Eye sweats.
Yeah, lots of eye sweats or dust in my eyes. I couldn't believe it.
Or
Uh,
allergies, because allergies cause
yeah, oh, the
eye
wind was in
sweats.
my eyes. It was crazy. The wind was blowing. There was lots of that, and then the reception was just a lot of fun. It was a huge party, and um, uh, we got to dance, and Josh, who we had on we had on this show one time, he was the DJ, and we danced for like 3.5 hours, and
Did a phenomenal
phenomenal job.
job.
Yeah, yeah.
Good job, Josh.
Good
Shout out
job,
to you.
Josh.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, and so it was just a great time, and then they drove off in Pop's Corvette, and that was it. And then the next week, when we were going to record again, something else happened. What happened, Dom?
So I'm gonna have to give you a little backstory because this happened in between
Just tell us
events.
real quick what happened.
So because of my medical condition, yes, I'm gonna give a slight backstory.
Okay.
Just because there's people who don't know.
Just give us
Okay,
what happened.
I had a scan done.
MRI.
MRI. They noticed some things that were concerning, so they did some more tests, and unfortunately, I have been diagnosed with cancer.
That's right. Dom has cancer. Not diagnosed. He has cancer. And so
I was diagnosed with cancer,
yes.
and
And so we did a PET scan and a biopsy, and both of them came back that
Yep.
it is cancerous. And people have asked, well, what type is it? What stage is it? And do you know what stage it is?
I don't.
All right. So he has what's called an MPNST. What is that?
Peripheral nerve sheath tumor. Oh no,
Malignant.
Malignant peripheral nerve sheath tumor.
So pretty much it's a tumor that's on a nerve. It's down in his leg area.
In my
And
groin.
it's not in
No, it is.
it's not there, but it's close to there.
Close.
Okay, so long story short, it doesn't really get a stage to it.
Yeah.
Because it's its own entity. But it's treatable. We're going after it. And in fact, Dom has a treatment plan. He's at Johns Hopkins
Mm-hmm.
a lot. And it, what is the treatment plan?
So this is kind of the main reason we kind of took a break.
Yeah.
Just because I'm at Hopkins a lot now. So last week I was at Hopkins for 4 days getting chemo.
Okay, he's on chemotherapy right now.
Chemotherapy.
Did one thing of chemotherapy, took a couple weeks off to
And then
rejuvenate.
did another.
Did another one, and now we're back in the rejuvenation stage.
Yes.
And then hopefully there's going to be another stage, and then radiation.
Nope. We
Unless
have an MRI.
MRI first. I'm
We have
sorry.
MRI next week.
Yep.
Based depending on the results of that. Basically if there's even the slightest
Growth.
tiniest fraction of growth,
Yep.
they stop the chemo immediately. I go to surgery like the next day.
We get it out, and then back into chemo and radiation.
No,
Just chemo.
No, I don't think so. I think if they just remove it after the 6 weeks, it's.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
But if there's no growth or there's shrinkage, then I do another 6
it
weeks.
shrinks, but not shrinkage.
Whatever. Shrink.
Yes.
When it shrinks, I do another 6 weeks. So I'll do a 5-day cycle of chemo every day.
Yeah.
And then
2 weeks off, and then.
But the next week I start radiation.
So there's a lot involved. So it's
Yeah.
right now it's chemotherapy. So we're doing chemotherapy. He did one stage or one round of it. Then he did a second round. Then we're gonna.
I did my first cycle. This is my first.
Yeah, he's in the second cycle or the second round.
I will be starting the second cycle.
Okay.
MRI.
No, you're okay. Anyway, he's done 2 things of chemo.
Yeah.
Based on the MRI, either the tumor's coming out immediately or they're going to continue chemotherapy and radiation, and then hopefully continue to break down this stupid tumor that's in it. Now, Dom, a lot of people are like, have you lost your appetite? Have you lost your appetite at all? Because chemotherapy messes with that a little bit.
Actually, this past week when I was at Hopkins, I don't know what happened, but
chemotherapy went into your body.
Yeah, and so I didn't eat. Man, most of y'all know me. I love to eat. And when I don't eat, something is wrong with me.
Like, if my man turns down mac and cheese, you got something going on. My man, he wasn't eating mac and cheese. he was out of it. Like
I was sleeping.
he wasn't even on the computer, wasn't even on his cell phone, didn't even play Xbox.
I slept all day that day.
Yeah, so he was
Which
out of it.
is not normal.
Not normal, but you got your appetite today, right?
Oh yes, I woke up this morning
5 days later, bam, we're eating again. And Big Nate and Sierra, they actually fed us yesterday. It was great. It was on point.
yes, and my appetite's been good since for 2 days.
Yeah, so we're back on track.
Yeah.
And as you can see, he's very positive. So we're staying up here. Is there any other side effects that you're getting with the chemotherapy?
Yes.
Wow. It looks like a Hindu monk. But you know what? It's a good look. So I decided to go with them. So we're twinning. Put your head together. Bing. So we look like two cue balls on the table.
Oh my gosh.
We're playing pool with two cue balls.
That's
So
funny.
yeah. So there's that. So now we've caught you up to what we've been up to.
Yeah,
But you want to move on?
absolutely.
All right.
Actually, no. As Michael Scott would say, absolutely.
Absolutely. And because Dom said Michael Scott from The Office, Dom's wearing his Dunder Mifflin.
That we are in the conference room.
We're in the conference room. I'm wearing my Scranton, my Dunder Mifflin Scranton company picnic shirt and my Dunder Mifflin hat. Um, we decided that we want to get back to our basics and have a little fun and talk about our all-time top 5 favorite episodes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dom, you want to go first?
I do. So I watched
Wait,
this.
do you have any honorable mentions before we start?
Oh yes. A. You always need a arm to get the job.
A-arm, A-A-R-M.
The second to last episode.
Assistant to the assistant regional manager. That's a great one.
Love that episode.
All right.
He is phenomenal in that.
And we're talking about The Office, the series The Office that was on NBC. I believe it started in 2004, maybe. I can't remember. Anyway, but we watched it, and Dom, actually, you got what'd you get? Peacock?
So apparently, because I am a student at CSM, I get benefits of that, and
Being
so
a student, not just CSM.
Being a student in general, I basically got Peacock for $1.99 a month.
$1.99 a month.
For a year.
For a year. Okay.
And I only got it so that we could watch The Office.
And we have. All right, so top 5. Go with number 5.
All right, so we watched this episode the other day. I had seen it a couple times, but then it hit me. I'm like, that's top 5 material. Murder. That has been, I can't do the accent, but
there has been a murder in Savannah.
Oh, that episode was.
Is it called Murder?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And really, long story short, the office is kind of freaking out because Dunder Mifflin might be going bankrupt, and Michael, instead of
to just put on a game to clear their mind,
he said instead of like being stressed out about it and doing work, let's play a game that we can all play together. And Jim tries to keep them involved, but at the end, they're waiting to hear back from what was Wallace's name?
Detective Wallace.
No, not Detective Wallace.
Yeah.
No, anyway.
Detective Wallace is.
No, that's the joke. But it was, Mr. Wallace is the guy, the CEO of the company, David Wallace. And Jim takes a phone call from him to find out what's going on with the company. And everybody's watching Jim, and he hangs up the phone. And Jim's been all serious the whole time. And then he comes out, he goes, no news.
Right, there's been another murder.
But there's been another murder. To the conference room, and they all went in there.
And then the ending thing is.
No, don't tell anybody the ending. They can find out themselves. Number 4.
Number 4.
Got to keep them on track.
Dwight Christmas.
With Belschnickel.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I had to rearrange my order right before we hit record. So
what was that English?
I redid my order
right before you hit record.
Yes.
Okay,
Because
there
this
you
was
go.
in a different spot, but then I realized that the one I had in the spot before had to be in. It's my brain messed up. But
It's not the cancer.
Dwight Christmas. No, it's just the
The
normal.
Dwight Christmas. There you go.
Yes,
I believe that was season 9.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
I just love that one.
I love all the Christmas episodes
Yes,
except
that's
for the
great.
first one. That was really awkward. When they did the white elephant and Michael messed it up for everyone, but that's all right.
Oh, because
Okay.
what's her? Yep.
Yeah. Dwight Christmas.
All right, number 3, Jim and Pam's wedding, Niagara Part 1.
You don't like part 2?
Fine. Jim and Pam's wedding,
There you go.
Niagara Part 1 and 2.
I mean, part
I
1.
didn't know if I can. I didn't know
Yeah.
if I could.
Part 1 was really the comedy of it, and part 2 was the sentimental side. But I thought the whole thing was
Oh, we
funny.
know Part 2 is the wedding. Part 1 and
Yes.
2.
1 and 2.
Yes.
Part 1 and 2. How about just the wedding, Niagara?
The whole, yeah, the whole.
What is this? The whole.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Niagara.
Mm-hmm.
What happens up in Viagra Falls? That was one of the jokes. It's not my joke.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah. So, number 2.
I know this should probably be number 1, but finale.
Hmm. Okay. Why should that be number 1?
Well, I don't want to spoil it.
You know what? It's been out for over a decade. Uh,
Michael returns.
Michael returned at the very last bit.
And the final prank that Jim does is, I can't be your bestest mensch. Because something to do with age.
He said a bestest mensch can't be older, or yeah, it can't be younger than the best man. And he's and Jim goes, and I'm significantly younger than you. And Dwight's like, no, you're not. I don't even know if I've ever heard that rule before. And he goes, either way, I can't be there for you
But I
today.
found someone else.
But I found, but I found someone else. And he turned,
And then Michael and it. Oh my gosh.
and Dwight says, you came. And Michael says,
That's what she said.
she said, that's right. Number 1. Oh, by the way, Tom,
That's my notes.
Tom's notes are on Dunder Mifflin stationery. Number 1.
Or threat level midnight.
That's how it
I'm
goes.
gonna do the scorn. Hold on.
Oh my lord, you
I
wrecked it.
know. You meet that person, shake their hand. Do something, shake their hand.
You tie
That's how
some
you do the scorn. I don't know how it
you
goes,
tie some yarn, turn around, and that's how you do the scarn.
but I love that episode.
Dom destroyed it. You know what? Dom's gonna actually link in the
All these,
episodes,
yep.
all the episodes down in the description, so you'll be able to see it. But Threat Level Midnight is the
Wait, I
movie.
don't know if they're on YouTube.
Well, just a little clip of it or something. But
Okay.
all right. But either way, put the scarn there at least. The
Mhm.
dance,
Yeah.
the Michael Scott dance that he had, or the Michael Scarn dance. Anyway, Threat Level Midnight was a movie that Michael wrote
Mm-hmm.
and then had all the Office people star in it. And they showed it in episode or was that
Season
season 7? Yeah, right before Michael left. So
Mm-hmm.
it was great. That was a good top 5,
Yeah.
man. All right, so I had some honorable mentions just from the jump. The first one is the Benihana Christmas. Michael or who was it? It was Carol, his realtor that he was dating, broke up with him right before the Christmas party, and so Andy,
Oh.
Jim, and Dwight took him out to Benihana's for, as Andy called it, Japanese Hooters. And so they went there, and they're doing all this stuff. But I just found it really funny. I believe that was season 4, or maybe, yeah, season 3, season 3. And
Okay.
they came back, and um, there was just kind of this funniness when they came back for
Mm-hmm.
after the dinner. Um, and so it was good. It was classic. Then another honorable mention was the Convict, and this is when after the merger in season 3 again. Season 3 was on point, really, really well done.
When
Um,
Saber shows up.
no, man, that's
No.
like way down the road. It's when um the Stanford office closed and they came down and merged with Scranton office, and there was a lot of different people, and one of the
Uh,
guys was named Martin. And Martin, they figured out that he went to prison for tax evasion or something, or inside trading or something.
Prison Mike.
And Prison Mike showed up, and
Ah,
Mike was talking about how it's no fun being in prison, and the whole time the office crew was making fun of Michael, because they were saying, "Wow, the office is so much more enjoyable, or a prison so much more enjoyable than working in this office." And Michael took offense to it, so he acted like a person in prison, um, and so Prison
don't even
Mike.
get me started with Kevin and
No,
Oscar.
no, no, we're not going to talk about that. And then the finale. I love the finale. Another honorable mention. And then,
Honorable mention.
yes, yes, chill out. And then, okay, I'm going to read it so I don't get it wrong. The Fun Run. The Fun Run was part
Yeah.
two of the first episode um, of season four. Michael hit Meredith with his car, cracked her pelvis. They go through all the funness of that, joking around, and Michael just wanted her to accept his apology, so he'll go back to being liked again. And then he decides to have the Michael Scott's Dunder Mifflin of Scranton Meredith Palmer Memorial Celebrity Pro Am Awareness. I'm sorry, Celebrity Rabies Awareness Pro Am Fun Run Race for the Cure. That's what he called the race, and it was a 3K. No, I'm sorry, it was a 5K. It was a 5K, and they ran away from the office, and then Toby finishes in first place, and then he's like, "Where are we?" And Kelly goes, "I don't know. I guess 5K away from the office." And he was like, Toby goes, "He couldn't have just run us around in a circle." And so they were way away from the office. So I don't know. That was an honorable mention. I love that. The start of the episode or start of that season was great. But here's my top. Stop looking at my top five. And why are you all slouchy down? Why are you slouchy
I'm
down?
not.
Good Lord, man. Like this is our 29th episode. You remember doing these things?
Yeah.
Number five, Goodbye Toby. It was Holly Flax is
Mm.
introduced. Toby introduces Michael to her, and Michael's like, "Oh, she's amazing. It's great." But then he's saying goodbye to Toby. Toby's leaving. My favorite part is that Michael goes to have the exit interview. He's so excited to just lay into Toby, the HR guy he hates, and in walks Holly, his replacement, and Pam, who are there to take notes, and Holly's there to watch it. And
No.
Michael's looking at Toby. He's trying to make a good impression on Holly, and he's like, "I hate you. I hate you. Why?" And they're like, "Michael, are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm great." And he goes, "I got you a present," and or he had a present, and then the ladies walked in, and they were like, "Give him the present. Give him the present." And he was like, "Nah, I don't really know if this is a good." And Toby took it, opened it up, and it was a rock. And they
And
were
he
like,
saying you suck or
you suck or suck it." And they were like,
no, it's saying like suck on this or
stuck,
something.
yeah, something like that. But it was just so funny. And then um, they wound up having a carnival, a Goodbye Toby, and Michael sings the song Goodbye Toby. Dun, 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 dun. And it's just great. And, Jim was going to propose to Pam, but then out of the blue, Andy proposes. His parents are there. He proposes to Angela. But what I
Yeah.
really loved about the episode is Holly was brand new, and Dwight played a prank on her and said that Kevin was mentally
Oh my
challenged.
gosh,
And
I
so
remember that.
so she walked up to him, and he was like at the vending machine, and she was like, "How much do you need?" And he's like, "I have this." And she's going through it going, "Okay, this is a quarter, this is a nickel, this is a piece of lint." And Kevin's like, just smiling the whole time. And then later on, Kevin's like, "I don't know about this, Holly, but I'm going to bang her." Just so weird and awkward. It was just like,
Yeah, I remember that.
all right, number four, I'm representing for the company picnic. Um,
Yeah.
and so it was Dunder Mifflin's company picnic. It's hysterical. I love it. I really appreciated when they were all playing volleyball together, and the Scranton office, who argues all the time and plays these pranks and such, they all got together and they were beating everybody. So that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Number three was the garage sale when they were having they all brought in their trinkets and such, and all the
I
members of
remember
the
that.
office were set up in the warehouse, and people in the community were coming by and they were buying things, and it was really kind of cool because throughout the garage sale you could see it was like Easter eggs that we catch up in movies a lot, like, oh, I remember that. There was things throughout the entire series that they were selling, um, and so
Mm-hmm.
that was really neat. There was like little things that popped up that you're like, oh, I remember that, and oh, I remember that from that episode. But then the culmination of that episode was um, Michael asking Holly to marry him. And then, the sprinklers went off and everyone
Oh
was
yeah,
clapping and Michael goes,
right
hey,
before the goodbye, Michael.
yeah, yeah. And so, Michael goes up and says, hey, we're getting married and we're moving to Colorado. And Kevin goes, all of us? They're like, what? So, number two, the dinner party.
Oh yeah,
The dinner party that
forgot to say that was an
Jan and
honorable
Michael
mention.
threw, and it was really just to
Oh
invite
god.
over Pam and Jim, and Andy and Angela came as a couple too. And then Dwight crashed it with his former babysitter as a date. It was just kind of awkward, and
Yeah.
just the whole thing. But the one part that just, I mean, I just laughed my butt off is Michael said, I finally broke down and bought a flat screen. And he walks over to the wall and grabs a little TV like this big and pushes it against the wall and says, now I can see it. I sometimes I'll just stand here and stare at it, and the flat screen's like that big.
It's so tiny.
It's just funny.
It would
So
be an equivalent of an iPad now.
yeah,
Smaller.
smaller, but it was just, I mean, it was just so funny. And then of course Jan playing Hunter's terrible music. That was her assistant. But I took you by the hand,
Yeah, yeah.
made made me a man. I mean, just really just terrible music.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, that was the dinner party. And then my number one classic, I believe season two, with the injury when Michael called in to the office and he had an
Oh my
injury.
gosh.
He burnt his foot. How did he burn his foot? You remember?
So he starts off where he was like, he sizzles his bacon every morning on a James Foreman grill.
James Foreman Grill.
I don't know what it is. John Foreman?
It's a. Why did I even ask you? I knew you were gonna
What is
mess it
it?
up. His George Foreman Grill.
George! Oh,
Every morning or every night before he goes to bed, he lays out bacon on his George Foreman grill. And then when his alarm goes off, he plugs it or he turns it on. Then he goes back to bed. Then he wakes up with the crackling smell of bacon on his George Foreman grill. Well, today I stepped out and he said he stepped on the George Foreman grill and it clamped down on top of him. So he shows his foot and there's lines on one side and then there's lines on the other side. But the whole thing was Michael's going through this traumatic injury and he acts like he's handicapped a couple times. But then Dwight going to pick up Michael crashes his car, gets out of the car, throws up because he has a concussion. He busted his head. And then as Dwight pulls away, Jim goes, no, Dwight, you forgot your bumper. I just lost it. That was one of the funniest moments. But
yeah.
all the little slapstick stuff that goes
Mm-hmm.
on during it. Michael falls down in the bathroom and you can hear him Wah! And splashing and everything else. And everyone's just standing there. And Ryan's eating his string cheese, and Toby's like, "So you just bite into it?" You can hear Michael screaming in the background. So anyway, that was my top five. We
I
didn't
know, we
cross any.
didn't, yeah.
Oh man,
That's a good
James
episode.
Foreman Grill,
George.
George Foreman Grill. All
It
right,
was
well,
close with James.
that's our episode. That's episode 29. we're happy to be back. We're really excited to
Yes.
see where we're going to go from here. The goal is to start trying to produce an episode a week again, but based on treatment, based on schedule. Um,
It might
right,
be
we
a
might,
little iffy.
if we take a week off here or there, just know that life is happening and we're going to try and put these out. We don't have any sponsors right now, but we do want to wish both Alex from um,
Expensive.
Expense Apparel. It's his senior year, along with Tim from Spotless Finish Detailing. Both of them, it's their senior year. We wish both of them tremendous success this
Yeah.
senior year. There might be a couple sponsors in the works. I've talked to a couple people,
Okay.
and we'll see when we see. And we're just really excited for this year, the school year for me, and then also for Dom. Dom's going to beat this thing, and we have our Dom Squad bracelets going out, and you'll see, pew pew, dominate NF. Go dominate your day. That's what we've been saying, and you'll see us with Dom Squad shirts, maybe hats and things, and there might even be some other things in the works that we're going to try and do. But we just want to thank everybody for your love and support. If you have any questions at all, you can always hit us on Instagram, or you can Dom in the Instagram is Dom. What is it? Dom dot and the dot coach. YouTube, you can always hit in the comments, and Spotify as well. Hit in the comments. And any questions you have for Dom about treatment or cancer or anything, or about the James Foreman grill, which he destroyed, you can ask us
I'll
those
link
too.
my Facebook.
Yeah, link that too.
I'll just link it in
Um,
the description.
right. And then so, you can always ask us questions, like, subscribe, share with your friends and family, get the word out there. And so we have some hashtags that we've been living on recently. Um, Fight hard, never quit, stronger together, hashtag Dom Squad.
Hashtag Dom Squad. Hashtag Dominate. Hashtag Dominate NF. Hashtag FNF.
No, we're not
F
doing.
cancer. We aren't
My
doing that.
goodness. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a family show. Anyway, so you'll see all of our hashtags in the
Yeah.
bottom. And, we just love and appreciate all of our friends and family. And anything else you want to add?
Mm-mm.
All right, y'all. We appreciate you. Tops off. We love you.